Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Daniel. Today, we're going to be diving deeper into Leviticus, and we're starting in verse, 3:10, and then we're going to back up to go forward a little bit from last time. Anyway, and as I go along, I will, talk about stuff as it comes up. So just to kind of last couple weeks, or last couple days, I guess maybe the week, things have been kind of weird in my life, but they started turning better today. Maybe it's the outlook or energy, I don't know, but it's better. So it feels like whatever test that I was being tested with is done. So I'm very happy about that. I just want to move on, keep doing this. So if you know of anything or anything that I should be reading, because I don't know, this is all brand new to me. If there's anything that I could read or suggestions, please drop them in the comment section, and then I'll be more than happy to dive into those as well, kind of mix them in or whatever. But anyway, thank you again for coming to see me, and let's get to it. The priest shall offer up in smoke its memorial portion, part of the crushed grain and part of its oil and all its incense, an offering by fire to the Lord. So last time we were doing this, dang, my nose itches. It was, he wanted no leavened bread. No leavened bread, no leavening at all. If you burn it. Only if you burn it. But if you, as a grain offering, it's fine. But he wants salt. Salt with everything, which is interesting. I guess salt back in those days was a hot commodity. They could just go to the ocean, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, if a man's offering is a sacrifice of peace offerings, if he offers an animal from the herd, whether male or female, he shall offer it without blemish before the Lord. So, I mean, blemish, is that like anything wrong with it? No sores, nothing. So it's perfect. I guess he wants a perfect animal to be offered. And again, I pose this question. If he says do not murder, if it says do not murder in here, but you're murdering animals, what's the difference? You're murdering animals for sacrifice, but murdering people is not okay. So I don't understand where the difference is. So can somebody please maybe explain that to me? And that's what I don't know. He shall lay his hand on the head of his offering, transferring symbolically his guilt to the sacrifice, and kill it in the doorway of the tent of meeting. And Aaron's sons the priests, shall sprinkle the blood around the altar. From the sacrifice of peace offerings and offering by fire to the Lord, he shall present the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat that which is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them at the loins, and the lobe of the liver, which he shall remove with the kidneys. Aaron's sons shall offer up in smoke on the altar, placing it on the burnt offering, which is on the wood that is on the fire. It is an offering by fire, a sweet and soothing aroma to the Lord. So did they just dig in? Or do they have somebody like, I need you to get that? Or they were like, no, I got it. It's fine. I'm going to cut this thing open. I'm going to dig all of its stuff out. I guess it's warm. I don't know. It seems kind of, but you got to do what you got to do. If his peace offering to the Lord is an animal from the flock, male or female, he shall offer the animal without blemish. If he offers a lamb as his offering, then he shall present it before the Lord. And he shall lay his hand on the head of its offering and kill it before the tent of meeting. And Aaron's sons shall sprinkle its blood around the altar. From the sacrifice of peace offerings he shall bring as an offering by fire to the Lord its fat, the entire fat tail, which he shall remove close to the backbone, and the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat which is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them at the loins, and the lobe of the liver, which he shall remove with the kidneys. The priest shall offer it up in smoke on the altar as food, as an offering by fire to the Lord. If his offering is a goat, he shall present it before the Lord. Then he shall lay his hand on the head, transferring symbolically his guilt to the sacrifice, and kill it before the tent of meeting. And his sons of Aaron shall sprinkle its blood around on the altar. So I'm just going to backtrack real quick. Okay, so so what I'm seeing here, okay, if he offers an animal for the herd, he can do it in the doorway of the tent of meeting. And then if he goes a lamb, and then you shall do it before the tent of meeting. So these lambs and what else was it? So the lamb, I guess anything besides the animal from the herd, right? Then it shall be, he said you could do that in a doorway, but the other ones you can't do in the doorway. They do it before the tent of meeting. So I guess you do it before it is, and then you bring the stuff in. But with the other one, you could do it in the doorway, which would make quite a mess, I imagine. Okay, let's see. All right, if his offering is a goat, he shall present it before the Lord, and he shall lay his hand on the head and kill it before the tent of meeting, and the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle its blood around the altar. Then he shall present it as his offering, an offering by fire to the Lord, the fat that covers the entrails and all the fat that is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them, and at the loins, and the lobe of the liver, which he shall remove with the kidneys. The priest shall offer them up in smoke on the altar as food. It is an offering by fire, a sweet and soothing aroma, all the fat that is Lord's. That is the Lord's. It is a permanent statute for your generations wherever you may be, that you shall not eat any fat or any blood. Interesting. So it just eat lean meat, just the lean stuff. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel. If a person sins unintentionally in any of the things which the Lord has commanded not be done, and commits any of them, if the anointed priest sins, bringing guilt on his people, then he shall offer the Lord a young bull without blemish, as a sin offering for the sin that he has committed. So it's like you commit a sin, you use a bull to, okay. He shall bring the bull to the doorway of the tent of meeting before the Lord, and he shall lay his hand on the bull's head, transferring symbolically his guilt of sacrifice, and kill the bull before the Lord. Then the anointed priest is to take some of the bull's blood and bring it to the tent of meeting, into the tent of meeting. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood and sprinkle some of it 7 times before the Lord in front of the veil of sanctuary. The priest shall also put some of the blood on the horns of the altar of fragrant incense, which is before the Lord in the tent of meeting. All the rest of the blood of the bull he shall pour out at the base of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the doorway of the tent of meeting. He shall remove all the fat from the bull of the sin offering, the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat which is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them at the loins, and the lobe of the liver, which he shall remove with the kidneys, just as these are removed from the ox of the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest is to offer them up in smoke on the altar of burnt offering. But the hide of the bull and all its meat, with its head, its legs, entrails, and its refuse, that is, all the rest of the bull, he is to bring outside of the camp to clean place where the ashes are poured out, and burn it on a fire of wood. Where the ashes are poured out, it shall be burned. Now, if the whole congregation of Israel sins unintentionally, and the matter escapes the notice of the assembly, and they have done any of the things which the Lord has commanded them not to be done, and they become guilty, when the sin which they have committed becomes known, then the congregation shall offer a young bull of the herd as a sin offering, and bring it before the tent of meeting. So I guess what I'm seeing is this is like a punishment. So the bulls, like the oxen and the bulls, if you like past the initial one, if you sin, it's like this is your punishment. You lose a head of cattle. You lose it, and it's gone. So this is your punishment for doing these things. When the sin which they have committed becomes known, the congregation shall offer a young bull of the herd as a sin of offering and bring it before the tent of meeting. Then the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands on the head of the bull before the Lord, and they shall kill the bull before the Lord. The anointed priest is to bring some of the bull's blood to the tent of meeting. So it's starting to make sense. It's like, you did bad, now you're going to get punished. It's like, I can't be there, so you're going to do this. It's like he could be there. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood and sprinkle it 7 times before the Lord in front of the veil, which screens off the Holy of Holies and the Ark of the Covenant. He shall put some of the blood on the horns of the altar, which is before the Lord in the tent of meeting, and he shall pour out the rest of the blood at the base of the altar on the burnt offering, which is at the doorway of the tent of meeting. He shall remove all of its fat from the bull and offer it up in smoke to the altar. On the altar. He shall also do with the bull, just as he did with the bull of sin offering. This is what he shall do with it. So the priest shall make atonement for the sin of the people, and they will be forgiven. Then the priest is to bring the bull outside to the camp and burn it as he burned the first bull. It is a sin offering for the congregation. When a ruler or leader sins and unintentionally does any one of the things the Lord his God has commanded not to be done, and he becomes guilty, if a sin which he has committed is made known to him, he shall bring a goat, a male without blemish, as his offering. He shall lay his hand on the head and kill it in the place where they kill the burnt offering before the Lord as a sin offering. If the priest is to take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and the rest of the blood he shall pour out at the base of the altar of burnt offering. He shall offer all its fat up in smoke on the altar like the fat from the sacrifice of peace offerings, so the priest shall make atonement for him in regard to his sin, and he shall be forgiven. If anyone of the common people sins unintentionally by doing any of these things the Lord has commanded not to be done, and becomes guilty, if his sin which he has committed is made known to him, then he shall bring a goat, a female without blemish, as his offering for the sin which he has committed. He shall lay his hand on the head and kill it in the place of the burnt offering. The priest shall take some of its blood with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out all the rest of the blood at the base of the altar. Then he shall remove all of its fat, just as the fat was removed from the sacrifice of peace offerings, and the priest shall offer it up in smoke on the altar as a sweet and soothing aroma to the Lord. In this way the priest shall make atonement for him, and he will be forgiven. If he brings a lamb as his offering for sin offering, he shall bring a female without blemish. He shall lay his hand on the head and kill it as a sin offering in the place they kill the burnt offering. The priest is to take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and all the rest of the blood of the lamb he shall pour out on the base of the altar. So what I'm seeing here is there's only certain animals that you can sprinkle the blood, and the rest of them you have to just put it on the horns. Okay. Then he shall remove all of its fat, just as the fat of the lamb is removed from the sacrifice of the peace offerings, and the priest shall offer it up in smoke on the altar, on the offerings by the fire to the Lord. In this way the priest shall make atonement for him in regard to the sin which he has committed, and he will be forgiven. If anyone sins after he hears a public adoration, when he is a witness, whether he has seen or otherwise known something, if he fails to report it, then he will bear his guilt and be held responsible. Or if someone touches any ceremonially unclean thing, whether the carcass of an unclean wild animal, or the carcass of an unclean domestic animal, or the carcass of an unclean creepy thing, even if he is unaware of it, he has become unclean, and he will be guilty. Or if he touches human uncleanliness, whatever kind it may be, and he becomes unclean, but he is unaware of it, when he recognizes it, he will be guilty. Or if anyone swears an oath thoughtlessly or impulsively aloud, that he will do either evil or good, in whatever manner a person may speak thoughtlessly or impulsively with an oath, but is unaware of it, when he recognizes it, he will be guilty in one of these. So what I'm seeing this is like, these are laws. These are the laws of the Lord. And these are, it's literally, you do this and you get punished. You do this and you get punished. You do this and you get punished. But it's not all bad. It's like, once you do these things and you atone for them, then you're forgiven. So it's like what we would do for something that is like that. So it shall be, when a person is guilty in one of these, that he shall confess the sin he has committed. He shall bring his guilt offering to the Lord for the sin which he has committed, a female from the flock, a lamb or a goat as a sin offering. So the priest shall make atonement on his behalf for his sin. But if he cannot afford a lamb, then he shall bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons as his guilt offering for his sin to the Lord, one as a sin offering, the other one as a burnt offering. He shall bring them to the priest, who shall offer the first one for the sin offering, and shall nip its head at the front of its neck, but shall not sever it completely. Interesting. He shall also sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering on the outside of the altar, and the rest of the blood shall be drained out at the base of the altar. It is a sin offering. The second bird he shall prepare as a burnt offering, according to the ordinance. So the priest shall make atonement on his behalf for the sin which he has committed, and will be forgiven him. But if he cannot afford to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then he shall bring as his offering for his sin the 10th part of the ephah of fine flour as a sin offering. He shall not put olive oil or incense on it, for it is a sin offering. He shall bring it to the priest, who shall take the handful of it as a memorial portion and offer it up in smoke on the altar with the offerings by fire to the Lord. It is a sin offering. In this way, the priest shall make atonement for him for the sin which he had committed in one of these things, and it will be forgiven him. Then the rest shall be for the priest like the grain offering. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, if a person commits a breach of faith and sins unintentionally against the holy things of the Lord, then he shall bring his guilt offering to the Lord, a ram without blemish from the flock, valued by you in shekels of silver, that is, the shekel of the sanctuary, as a guilt offering. He shall make restitution for the sin which he has committed against the holy thing, and shall add 1/5 of the ram's value to it, and give it to the priest. The priest shall then make atonement for him with the ram of guilt offering, and he shall be forgiven. Now, if anyone sins and does any of the things which the Lord has forbidden, though he was not aware of it, still he is guilty and shall bear his punishment. He is then to bring the priest a ram without blemish from the flock, according to your valuation, for a guilt offering. In this way, the priest shall make atonement for him regarding the error which he committed unintentionally and did not know it, and he shall be forgiven. This is a guilt offering. He was certainly guilty before the Lord. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, when anyone sins and acts unfaithfully against the Lord by deceiving his neighbor, companion, or associate in regard to deposit or security entrusted to him, or through robbery, or if he has extorted from his neighbor, or has found what is lost and lied about it and sworn falsely, so that the sins in regard to any of the things a man may do. All right. Then he has sinned and is guilty. He shall restore what he took by robbery, or what he got by extortion, or the deposit which was entrusted to him, or the lost thing which he found, or anything about which he has sworn falsely. He will not only restore it in full, but shall add it 1/5 more. He shall give it to the one whom it belongs on the day of his guilt offering. Then he shall bring it to the priest his guilt offering to the Lord, a ram without blemish from the flock, as valued by you as a guilt offering. So it looks like what he's saying is if you do things that are bad, you can make up for them. But there are specific ways that he will allow you to do it. You can just do whatever you want. And that's good. Especially the theft. I'm sure it gets more and more. But for today, we're going to stop there. No, my book. Okay. But it's good to know. Good to know. It's just like, yeah, I wonder if he's writing all this stuff down. Like, realistically, is he writing all this down? Because it's a lot to remember. It's like somebody has to be, like, scribing this stuff. He's like an assistant that can write the things down. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just, like, remembers. Maybe he has super good memory. I guess there was no TV back then, so, you know, he could remember a lot more. Anyway, thank you for coming to see me, and I appreciate it. Next time, maybe hopefully tomorrow, we'll dive in deeper to Leviticus. Looks like it's also a really violent one. So we're talking about killing goats and rams and stuff. And, you know, still confused about what is considered murder and what is not considered murder. I guess it depends on if you believe that animals have souls or not. Anyway, thank you for coming to see me. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Don't forget to like and comment, if you will, please. And I'll see you next time.